Peace, everyone. Welcome back to the Self Love Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Tanisha Naughton, and here you already know we talk about everything from burnout to mindfulness, wellness, self love, and how to become a better person each and every day. On today's episode, I want to get into talking about fasting. I am someone who loves a good fast, and I know that some people believe that they can't live without food or even the beverages that they drink. But I have found that fasting to be so profound in my life and how it has allowed certain things to come in, almost miracles, and also removing things that no longer served me. And this has helped with my burnout, with resetting my mind, body, and soul. I love taking a fast during the seasonal changes. I also just love a fast when things aren't going well in my life and when I believe that I need some redirection. So, some of the purposes or the reasons why people fast in general, it could be for religious reasons, it could be for spiritual guidance, it can be for weight loss. Sometimes it's about spiritual strength and resisting the things that we are tempted by. That could be food, sex, drugs, alcohol, even some things as social media we need fasting from. So, fasting isn't always just food, what we're eating. It's just the things that have a big emphasis on our lives, and we have a hard time stopping to do them. But for today's episode, I'm going to be talking about fasting for abstaining from foods and sugary drinks. Past summer in 2024, I knew that my body was asking for a major reset. I was going through some issues with my hips, a lot of pain being stored there, having some headaches going on when my menstrual cycle was coming. So, about a week or two before my menstrual cycle, I was experiencing these headaches that really felt like migraines. And I was trying to think like, okay, well, do I need more salt? Is it the electrolytes in my body? But I watch what I eat very mindfully. And it wasn't that. There was a big imbalance of stress going on in my life. I just knew that I needed a pause. But I was trying to figure out what would be the most beneficial pause for me. In my head, I knew I needed a little bit more greens into my life, which is always funny because I'm plant-based, but I don't always have enough raw salads. And so most of the time we know what we are lacking. We just don't always do the thing. And so I wanted to make a very conscious decision within that. And I was looking, just scrolling, really, doom scrolling on the internet. And I saw that Queen of Food was going to be in Atlanta for a 2-day retreat. And up until this time, I've done some things online for retreats, but never really sat on something that was an intensive. And she offered a virtual ticket, but you could also go to downtown Atlanta to join her. And I said, you know what? Let me do the uncomfortable thing. Let me go into community because I've done a lot of my healing by myself. And I wasn't really ready to share my experiences with other women. And ironically, right, I talk about how community is so important to me, but I have a big online spiritual wellness community that I rely on to help me. But I didn't find my tribe as much in Atlanta yet. So decided to step out on faith. I went to this event and it was reconfirming my path as to why I am so dedicated and disciplined to this plant-based lifestyle. Queen of Food was talking about so many herbs for women's womb wellness, having a relationship with your womb, speaking to your womb, loving on her. How many times as women have we abandoned our wombs in relationships, given our bodies up to people who don't deserve us? And how often do we clear out that trauma? these were things that she was just reminding me of. It wasn't anything so new because I'm big on herbalism and being my own healer, but it was empowering in a way that I didn't know I needed to restart that fire. She gave us some tonics. She also asked us to speak to our mothers about our birth story, which I found fascinating because I've actually had this conversation with my mom before. So I was like, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the things. And then, of course, she suggested that we fast. But for her fast, it was going raw, being raw, having more salads, more tonics, more juices. And I knew that that's what I needed. So I decided to embark on that journey. And oddly enough, a couple of days before her retreat, I decided to do this anyway. So it's like, wow, the universe will really come together when you are ready to do the work. And food is so important with avoiding burnout. The more healthy, natural foods we eat, the better we can thrive, the more energy we'll have, the more that we'll focus on our passions, our creativity. Food is medicine. So I left that 2-day retreat feeling alive, but also knowing that I wanted more. I wanted to be around Queen Afua more. And I decided to actually do a 1-day retreat with her where I went to her retreat center to go sleep overnight. And this was beyond me. It was another level like, wow, I'm about to just have a one-on-one with Queen Afua. And she is someone who I've read some of her books, I've watched her on YouTube, and the way she speaks, the way she teaches is inspiring when you are a wellness practitioner. And I haven't said it yet, but shout out to Queen Afua for everything that she has done. She has been serving women for decades, healing them, helping us love back on ourselves. And I am grateful that we have such a practitioner that is still alive, still doing the work, and she's able to meet you where you are while at the same time pushing you to become even better. And in my time with her, she served me smoothies, tonics, raw food, a beautiful lentil soup. We had a great conversation, but also during the retreat, it was sitting with myself, it was journaling, a lot of sweating, a lot of detoxing. Queen of Fu always says the deepest healing happens in the hottest season. And man, it was hot that summer in Atlanta, but it was also the steam baths. She had me sitting in a sauna, then taking a bath, then sitting in something else. It was a lot of heat, but that's purging. And that is the ugly part of the fasting, where I actually got a headache from all the heat. But I know it's my body getting rid of what no longer serves me. And see, that's the difference when you're fasting consciously versus just fasting because you want to lose some quick weight. I know that fasting comes with some uncomfortable moments, but so does life. You have to be able to sit with those moments that don't feel good and know that it's a buildup of all the shit you've been putting inside of your body. And when I say that, I mean physically, spiritually, emotionally, that has built up over time. And now you are consciously making an effort to get it out of you. And so sometimes that comes with a headache, sometimes that comes with a stomach ache, some discomfort, but like with anything, it passes. And within about an hour and a half, we did some yoga, it left. We did some inversion therapy, which is just having your legs up inverted and letting that blood flow back into your womb, back into your solar plexus, your sacral chakra. I was so grateful for the time with her. And if anybody follows me on Instagram, plant based vibes, Queen of Fu and I ended up doing an Instagram live that was totally impromptu. I was sharing with her my dreams, the visions that I have for my business, the retreats that I want to do, hold space for women. And she just decided, like, let's hop on this live and let's talk about my experience at the retreat with her and how things came about. And it was really serendipity that I trusted myself, I trusted in God, my ancestors to lead me to her. And when I left that retreat, I knew that I still wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted to expand even more with being raw. So I continued to do it. I wanted to monitor my menstrual cycle after being with Queen of Fluid and also monitor an abscess that I was experiencing at that time. So I was doing all the tonics. At this time, every day when I woke up, I was having garlic, olive oil, castor oil with some lemon, water, and putting that into a blender. So something that she recommends. If anybody's ever read Queen of Fool, Heal Thyself, amazing book. And I was very committed. I drank the detox teas and teas that I also prescribe to people that work with me. And I was feeling like I was on cloud nine. So the benefit for me in fasting was getting clear, was feeling better, was getting rid of the tiredness and the fog that I was experiencing because of all the stress that I was putting on myself in my business. It allowed me to feel lighter. But here's the thing I also started doing was visualizing what I wanted, visualizing the way I wanted my business to look, visualizing if I was to do something part-time, how would that look? And I started visualizing that I wanted to work with Queen Afua. I wanted to be able to be around the woman who has inspired me, inspired others, and be her right hand woman. And I'm like, okay, this is what you want. Like, we are really going to take the time out each day, visualize this, feel this. I went to that 1 day retreat with Queen of Fool on July 4th. That was the liberation of Tanisha. That was me becoming a new person, stepping into a new timeline. It's so crazy how life works because a week after July 4th, that Thursday, I text Queen of Food to just give her an update about how I was doing, the things that were happening, because I remember getting a call from somebody regarding business. She didn't answer my text. I went about my day. I was doing a floor wash. I added some cinnamon. Cinnamon always sweetens up your life. And so I'm cleaning the floors and adding this cinnamon powder, Ceylon cinnamon to be exact. And then I realized that Queen of Food was calling me. I answer, and Queen of Food asked me, would I like to be a part of helping her write her book, typing it up? And I was flabbergasted. She said, I know that you can help me bring this to life. Ladies, remember, I have only met this woman for about a week and change. And she's calling me to ask me to help her with her project. Queen of Food didn't know I've been manifesting to work with her. It took me by surprise because it's like, damn, when you really put in the work that is not always physical, things really do happen. And I attribute that to me putting myself first, cleaning up my diet again, but on a more intense level because I haven't been raw for over probably 14 days prior to. So no cooked foods for over 2 weeks. It was putting the energy back into myself. And when I fast, I feel like a superhero. Like I am on level 25. My visions are clear. My visions are more bright. My meditations are more profound. And I feel that this is what allowed me to connect with Queen Afua because she told me that she saw me in a vision. And it doesn't get more beautiful than that. The spiritual strength in me tapped into the energetic field of her to become one and to know that we were meant to do something together. How beautiful and how, what's the word I'm looking for? How empowering is it to know that we are all capable of creating the life that we want? But sometimes it comes with sacrifice and being disciplined to yourself, not to anyone else. But how bad do you want to change your life? How bad do you want to get over the stress? Remove the burnout. Lose the weight if that's what you're looking to do. Get a better job. Are you willing to remove the things that no longer serve you to live a better life? If you're looking to make a change in your relationship, what can you do within yourself to make those changes? Most of the time, we have to go within. And so, me taking the time to do that and then getting that call, it was full circle. Literally, that same day, she asked if I could come to her house, and I dropped everything. I dropped everything and I left and I began my new venture working for Queen of Afua, helping her type up her book. It's like, wow. Wow, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, ancestors. I've been asking for part-time work, but I wanted aligned, fun part-time work. Working for people who I love and who respect and love me is an affirmation that I've been saying. And look at what God did all through me cleansing. Ladies, I hope you're picking up what I'm throwing down. Anything is possible in your life. You can make the change. You can be better. I am a living testament. Every time I share my stories, because some of the shit that I've been through, I can't even make it up if I tried. It also is so transformational. I always feel like the phoenix rising from the ashes because damn, I have been burned, third degree burns, not thinking I'm going to make it out. But then there's that glimpse and my wings are just flapping and I'm coming out. I'm coming out and I'm telling the world like I'm still here. And you all listening, you are still here. You are still grinding. You are still showing up. But sometimes you just need a pivot. And that's what going raw for me was. It was a pivot. And I kept doing it until about the end of August. I remember having my first cooked meal because I had an event I was going to. But I vowed to myself that I was going to eat raw at least 3 to 4 days a week and then have 3 cooked meals. Because now I'm on this high, like I don't want to go back. I'm going more with the flow in my life. I feel great. And when you feel great, you want to continue doing what you're doing. And then my solar return in September, about a couple days before my solar return, I actually ended up doing a 3 day water fast, 3 day, and then 6 day fruits and water. The 3 day water fast was another challenge because I normally just do herbal teas for my water fast. This one was just straight up water. You could have some coconut water. And by day 3, I felt like my knees were weak. I felt so uncomfortable, really. I just was sitting at home. I'm like, man, I feel like I could pass out. And at those moments, it's like, well, am I going to give up? And some people will be like, man, like that's a hazard. But there are people who do water fast for a week. And I'm like, I can do this. I can go for another 24 hours because then I'll be able to break the fast with some fruit. I'm constantly wanting to push the boundaries within myself within reason when I know that over that mountain, I'm going to see clear skies. During that 9 day fast, more things came about. I received a deposit that I wasn't expecting. I received somebody messaging me about a potential collab for their podcast. And it's like, wow. For me, every time I focus on my health and my well being, I get gifted with things. It's also the form of slowing down to speed up. I don't always have to be on doing podcast interviews, coaching people. When you put yourself first and you reclaim your health and you love back on yourself, the universe is naturally going to come around and give to you. There's also a book during this time I was reading, the Abundance book. The author's last name is Randolph. I'll have to circle back around to get the full information for you guys or drop it in the show notes. But the book is about abundance, but being in your divine consciousness, allowing God to do their job and help you instead of you trying to do it all yourself. We work in tangent, we co create together. It's a teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, but you do that by focusing on you. So I would encourage everyone to try fasting. And if you're not ready to try it with food, like I said, you could try it with TV, try it with social media, try with getting the negative people out of your life. I know that's a big one, but that those are the things that we can try. And if you are ready to do a cleanse with food, with teas, even going raw, I'm here to support you. I run cleanses and intermittent fasts with my clients. This is something that we do together. There are times where I also do it within the community as well. And I will leave that information as well in the show notes for you to just reach out to me if this is something that you're ready to do to step into your most favorite fun version of yourself. So I'll leave you with this for this episode with a journal prompt question of, if you could get out of your own way, what would your best life look like? Thank you again for always listening. If you haven't subscribed already to this podcast, please do so. Please follow me on Instagram, PLANTBASEVIBES. Same on YouTube as well, where you can catch this podcast too. And I look forward to just continuing to build with you ladies, our tribe, and continue to inspire. I love you all. Take care.